So, honesty. What do you think of that word now? After everything you've heard and what I've said, still, what is the first thing that comes to mind when I say honesty? Think about it. When I think about honesty, I think about not lying. Having the strength to not lie. As clear in the other video, it takes guts to be honest, and it is important. You might not think it's important when it comes to writing or journaling or, speeches or, essays, but it is. It's important when it comes to your edits and everything. Your honesty helps people, and it creates the story. It makes things natural because you're not lying. You're not going on and on about this. When I think of being honest, I think of moving forward. And that's how character growth and plot development is made. Personally, character tropes are only truly tropes and have become made and are now tropes rather than characteristics when we go back to them and we don't need them. Think about what I mean by that. Think about what I'm saying there. Character tropes, what I'm really saying is that the whole dumb blonde or geeky nerd or little Miss Perfect tropes don't exist because they're characteristics that are overused. They exist because people go back to them over and over again. After years of evolution and evolution in your own story, people will still hone in on it when you need to be moving forward and need to be thinking about different things. Just think about that. Now, honest to divines and gods or goddesses or whatever you believe in, I'm going to tell you that I've lied to myself before and I've lied to the world before. We all do it, like little small white lies and little this and little that, but I feel like they're not as evident to us maybe as they are to others. Just because we can see others so much more clearly than we can see ourselves. And the funny thing is, people can often reflect how, we are as people as well. Personally, I think it's funny how sometimes we have a really good plan and then we second guess ourselves and then we're like, now let's go back to that, now let's go to this, now let's go to that. I'm going to tell you the one way you ruin your fanfic, your edit, your essay, your speech, your song, your art, whatever it is going back to where we started at, or at least a point to where we have started, rather than moving on. Think about that. Really, just think about that. In all honesty, that's how life goes sometimes, You're kind of, woohoo, we're doing so good, and then it's like, whoa, this, I'm not, okay. I don't want to do this now. How about we stay here? That kicks in. If you know what I mean. I'll give you a nice first-hand example here. So, for my fanfic, let's go to the LG creators as well, by the way. I had this idea for me to look like a total baddie in high school and evolve into somebody who is still a baddie, but is more controlled, has more poise and grace and just wisdom with his years. I have this really great idea for one of my plot points, right? And I was like, oh, wait, no, he's got to be totally bad, He's got to go this, and he's got to do that, and it's got to be like this and that. And let me tell you, I wanted to add music to that scene so bad. I did. And I'd been finding the perfect music for, the return of a hero, which is what I was totally getting into now for him, because it is kind of like a great return in this cycle we call life. And I will tell you, I found no songs, absolutely no songs that matched up with that scene I had in my head. And that scene that I had in my head, I did not have in my head. Okay, I honestly was not down for the scene, and that was not the way I wanted to go. And the universe or creators or whoever showed me that by never giving me the right music for that scene. And I thank the gods, the creators, or whoever for that, because I went to go and write it earlier, and it was such a flop, and I did not like it. And I got in the car, I went to tumbling for cheer, of course, and I actually really thought about why it didn't work. And, we can go back to it later and revise it, but why it didn't flow with the rest of the story was because it was harping on old things. It wasn't moving on. It wasn't advancing the character, advancing the plot line. It was kind of just staying in the same place. No, nothing was happening. So, once I really, really thought about that, when I went to tumbling, it was right there as I was just casually going up to handstands and doing all my drills. As I was thinking about why it didn't work, I thought it's not because I'm a bad writer or anything. It's just that we're moving forward. And what you're doing here is not moving us forward. And that's why it doesn't flow with the scene. That's why it doesn't work together. That's why it isn't working as one, becoming one, Now, that other music that I put in for Total Baddies was totally legit working. I felt all of it, but when I went into this one specific scene and I tried out my music for it, it didn't work because the music was meant for one, a different scene, two, a different time, three, this is not the scene. This is not the scene that I want, really, or need. So, by figuring that out, I've come full circle, and I'm figuring something else out. And that thing is currently moving the plot forward. That's what you have to do. It's a process. If they don't flow hand in hand and together in whatever you're doing, stop, look back, see what you can change, see what you've already done, move forward from that. It's revolution and evolution in the circle, and the beginning to ending, the start to close, that makes life. And if we are mimicking life, if we are giving life, like I've said, we need to do that. We need to think about that. We need to think about this in real life terms, because this is real life, not just fan fiction or an essay. It applies everywhere, and we can apply it everywhere. So, yeah. That's it. Think about that. Relate to someone on a deeper level and use that circle thinking, beginning to ending. How do we get there? It's a cycle.